People come from all over the world to visit
the gorges and waterfalls, the high peaks,
explore the chasm,
wineries right up the road,
to see works of art.
I love Casanova.
We're in Providence, Rhode Island.
Sink their toes in the sand.
The Brooklyn Bridge, the High Line.
People love Skinny Atlas.
The Chimney Bluffs. The walkway over the Hudson is located in between Albany. This institute is world-renowned. The Corning Museum of Glass.
It's unique to put artwork out in nature.
Where was the Thousand Islands dressing created? That was insane!
Of course, the New York City skyline is the icing on the cake, making this journey a must and a trip you'll be bragging about for years to come. On September 11th, 2001, the World Trade Center was attacked. It became known as Ground Zero. After years of hard work and rebuilding, the entire site has been transformed into a beautiful memorial, and One World Trade Center stands tall as the new icon of New York skyline. Tour guides lead the way, sharing the stories of what this place was and how it became what it is today.
Strong dichotomy between being a wonderful place with a wonderful mission, full of wonderful people, remembering a terrible day.
When you first get here, you're drawn to these two huge pools of tears. The panels surrounding the pools have the names of nearly 3,000 people inscribed on them. They're the victims who lost their lives in 2001 and the World Trade Center bombing in 1993. These names often come up in the stories the guides tell.
Another one of our employees here is one of the very last people to have made it out of the buildings as an employee of them, as one of the 18 who was found after the buildings collapsed. So one of the very last people to have survived that morning. And his story, very similar, is incredibly evocative. He talks a great deal about the other people in his office, some of whom did not make it out that morning.
70 feet underground, an even more solemn sight. Some say you get a cold sensation when you're walking through. Others say you can still smell the smoke.
It is difficult to describe in words the physical experience of being in the museum.
I was in Cairo, Egypt.
You'll see a map of the world made up of words from 9/11 stories people have shared from around the globe.
We're supposed to be on that plane. We're supposed to be here for a meeting that morning and missed it by that much. And all of those stories, they add up, and you realize how many people, how many lives this event touched.
That hallway leads you into this huge open museum and prepares you for the emotional journey ahead. The 9/11 Museum takes up almost the entirety of the plaza. It's 110,000 square feet and incorporates both of the footprints of the Twin Towers. There's an historical side.
It takes you through first minute by minute through the events of that morning, and then it goes back in time to give you a little more history on the towers, what they were, and then the third section talks to you about the rescue, recovery, and cleanup work, America's response to the attack, so basically September 12th and on.
And then there's the memorial exhibition.
The walls are lined with the pictures of the victims, and then they have these machines, these little touchscreen computer tables where you can look up each individual, you can hear stories about them that are often told by their own family and friends, and it allows you to see the victims here as more than just a name.
You'll see artifacts from the day, parts of the building, 2 different fire trucks, and even an ambulance. Pieces of one of the worst days in history, a day we will always remember and never forget. In New York City, Jennifer Mullen, CBS6 News.
What are you doing? I'm trying to relax. What, you want part of this?
Mirbeau Inn and Spa is located in the storybook village of Skinny Atlas.
Mirbeau is really kind of like an escape for a lot of people when they can come to a location that was designed almost as a sanctuary.
Try to picture this beautiful, serene setting with me. You pull up to a private French wine country-looking estate that curves gracefully around breathtaking gardens and ponds. You're then greeted at the front desk and perhaps escorted to one of the many extravagant rooms on property.
Then they immediately have access to the beautiful world-class spa facilities, which are located downstairs. They also have access to our beautiful wine bar and dining room.
The spa activities here are endless.
It's kind of like always being inspired. It's always being reinvented.
Let's say you start your day with a yoga class, facial, massage, maybe even a body treatment. When you're done, don't worry about changing back into your clothes. Instead, make your way upstairs for a perfect, unique setting to enjoy a glass of wine and some snacks.
The feeling of the spa is for them to be as liberated as possible, and so allowing them to wear a robe means that they can go back and forth through the spa for a variety of activities or outside to the aqua terrace that we have without feeling that they have to constantly change and be in clothing, other than the robe, of course.
After that, you might treat yourself to another service or two before you go back to your room and get yourself dolled up for a gourmet dinner in the dining room overlooking this amazing Claude Monet-inspired pond. Whether it's a day trip or an overnight getaway, the tranquility you were searching for when you got here will without a doubt be found by the time you leave.
See, aren't you just that much more relaxed just hearing about it? Don't you want to come? I'm telling you, it's worth the trip because every vacation you deserve a little R&R. In Skinny Atlas, Jennifer Mullen, CBS6 News.